Before we hop into these Josh Jacobs trade rumors, make sure you subscribe to us here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. I'm Chase Sr. We are 3,395 people away from an extraordinary milestone here on the program of 50,000 subscribers. And if you're looking for insightful, informative, entertaining Eagles coverage year-round and daily, this is your go-to spot. Join the Eagles Now community by hitting that subscribe button right now. As for our programming, that's going to be coming your way on the docket over the next few weeks and months. Training camp updates with training camp less than 2 weeks away. When breaking news happens, we go more in-depth and longer and do live shows better than any other YouTube channel out there in my estimation. Some injuries, unfortunately, will probably happen for the Eagles here in the training camp sessions, as well as the preseason and the regular season. So we'll do some injury reports, game previews, live shows, watch parties are coming back, and we always hit you with the latest news and rumors. That's the sales pitch for why you got to subscribe to the channel. So let's talk about Josh Jacobs here. Could the Eagles actually trade for Josh Jacobs, the Las Vegas Raiders running back who has not agreed to a new contract with the Raiders out there in the desert? The Eagles listed as a top destination for Jacobs by CBS Sports. Now, here's the latest information on him to really set the foundation for everything, having this conversation. He has not participated in any Raiders offseason activities. It's not expected as of right now that he is going to report to training camp here with that on the horizon. Hasn't agreed to terms with the Raiders on a new contract, and the franchise tag deadline for all players across the NFL who are eligible will be 4 o'clock Eastern on Monday, July 17th. So that quickly approaching as well. A player in this division in which a team has to make a decision on, Saquon Barkley and the New York Giants, similar territory here as Josh Jacobs and the Las Vegas Raiders. Honestly, when I saw this article and I read through it, the Eagles being linked to Josh Jacobs doesn't make a lot of sense at all, at least for me, because I'm really happy and content with the players on this roster in the Eagles running back room and the amount of financial resources that they're paying these players. I'm really bullish on DeAndre Swift. I think that he can be a really special player in this league entering a contract year, so he's going to be motivated to stay on the field. Kenneth Gainwell put up awesome numbers in the NFL playoffs en route to that Super Bowl appearance, and honestly, in the Super Bowl, they went with him more than Miles Sanders. Goes to show you they're really high on Gainwell, the former pick out of Memphis. They signed Rashaad Penny in free agency, and they retain Boston Scott in free agency as well. And then you have Trey Sermon, who's going to be battling for a roster spot. Now, I do think that DeAndre Swift is going to get the bulk of the carries, and I think he should get the bulk of the carries if he's able to stay healthy for Philadelphia this year, which has been a little bit of a problem. He hasn't missed a lot of games. He's just been banged up, so the workload has been somewhat diminished, but the production has been great. Last year, he led all running backs in yards per touch, 99 carries, 542 yards, 5.5 yards per tote, and then the 2 previous years, very solid numbers. Why I also like DeAndre Swift, he's a very good pass catcher and a better pass catcher than Miles Sanders, a home run threat every time that he touches the football. Like, he can take it the distance in a blink, and he's been used a lot in that passing game. And I think the Eagles can actually do a better job than the Detroit Lions of involving him through that aerial attack. 46 catches, 62 and 48 throughout his first 3 years. The yards through the air, pretty solid, and he's good for a couple of touchdowns receiving the football as well. So today's poll question will be this, and there's so much left to get to here on the show. Should the Eagles trade for Josh Jacobs? This will be our pinned comment, so we want you to scroll on down and share your thoughts. T for trade or P for pass. More to come here, so stay tuned. Continue to hang out with us. But first, today's show is presented by Zbiotics. 15% off using that link down below me, zbiotics.com/chatsports, or you can use the QR code here to my left. What is Zbiotics? Well, let me face it. After y'all hit me with a bunch of super chats, I don't bounce back well the next day. That is until I found Zbiotics. What is it? Zbiotics is a pre-alcohol probiotic, and it is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking, and here's how it works. It's really interesting. When you drink, alcohol actually gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut, and it's this byproduct not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Zbiotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. We told you, PhD scientists, they're much smarter than me. It's designed to work like your liver, but in your gut where you need it the most. Drink Zbiotics before drinking alcohol. Of course, as always, drink responsibly and get a good night's sleep to feel your best tomorrow. Now, I suggest that you utilize this deal right now with the QR code as well as this link. Here is the packaging if you were to get it. And the bottles are very easy to travel with. So when I hit the road, which is really often because I do enjoy traveling, I could throw this into a travel case. It's eligible for an airline as well. Very easy to use. 15% off also, a great deal if you know you're going to feel good. So head to zbiotics.com/chatsports. Scan that QR code on the screen right now to get 15% off your first order when you use that promo code at checkout. You can also sign up for a subscription as well, so you can stay prepared no matter the time or occasion. Zbiotics, backed with the 100% money-back guarantee. So if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they will refund your money, no questions asked. Zbiotics.com/chatsports. Scan that QR code here to my left, right in front of me here, Zbiotics.com/chatsports. That link hanging out in the comment section and in the description of this video. So we're talking about Josh Jacobs here, right? And it came to light because of that article by CBS Sports listing the Eagles as the #1 destination for Josh Jacobs. Here's what they had to say, and share your thoughts with us down in the comments section. Since Miles Sanders is now a Carolina Panther, Jacobs would be a seamless addition inside an Eagles offense that put up 35 points in the Super Bowl. The defending NFC champion, Philadelphia Eagles, don't need anyone at this stage in the offseason, but coming up just 3 points short in the Super Bowl could cause general manager Howie Roseman to go all in. New offseason additions, DeAndre Swift, Rashaad Penny, have shown to be injury liabilities at a higher carry volume in their careers. Philly would be getting an every down battering ram in Jacobs, who had at least 20 carries in 9 games last year. Jacobs, who caught 53 passes as well in 2022, could also serve as a viable option for Jalen Hurts in the passing game. But again, we're talking about how Jacobs, or at least CBS Sports is a dual threat back who can run it and catch it. That's what Swift is able to do. And Jacobs, prior to last year, he had been a little bit banged up as well. Now, his numbers last year, as he was looking to get the bag, were very, very impressive. 340 total carries. He rushed for more than 1,600 yards. Also had 53 catches for 400, 12 total touchdowns. You look at those receiving numbers more in depth. 7.5 yards per catch on those 53 grabs for 400 yards. Last year, he was one of the best dual threat backs in the NFL. I actually think that Swift, a more seamless and natural catcher of the football than Jacobs, but he at least has shown that ability throughout his NFL career and had a good college career as well. His story, very, very fascinating, as he's kind of a rags to riches type of story. And for these backs who are in these important moments of their career, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, the NFL stands for not for long, right? We talk about that a lot, but especially at that running back spot. And this could be their only time to get the bag, to get some financial security moving ahead into the future. And Saquon Barkley and Jacobs are in similar territory here. Both eligible for that franchise tag. We talked about that deadline just moments ago. And their career rushing numbers to start. Saquon's been injured a little bit more, so Jacobs does have more carries. In turn, has about 500 more yards, just less than that. Average yards per carry, Saquon with a slight nod there. First downs, Jacobs has a lot more. And then total touchdowns, Jacobs 40 to Saquon's 29. Both very, very good receiving backs as well. Now, Saquon has been used more here despite having played less games. That was really a revelation for Jacobs last year under first-year head coach Josh McDaniels. He started to use him a little bit more in that pass game, and Jacobs was able to display that ability, and I think that makes him pretty valuable going into this critical season or looking for that money. Saquon, 336 targets as a receiver, 247 catches, 1,800 yards, 70 first downs, 8 touchdowns. No touchdowns yet through the air for Josh Jacobs. But again, he's more of a running running back, less of a dual threat, but last year came to light as a guy who is capable of catching the football. So who do you think gets paid more? I think one of these guys, if not both, they're going to get a contract extension. So who do you think gets more money on that deal? Because who's the more valuable player? Is it Saquon type SB? Is it JJ type Josh Jacobs? Or is it Josh Jacobs type JJ? Let us know down in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, thanks for rocking and rolling with us here on Eagles Now.